Imagine that you're just starting your independent life. The world is full of endless possibilities. You're discovering what's important to you, and you're excited about all the opportunities available. Then, in an instant, all that expectant energy, limitless possibility, and that newfound independence is taken away. It is impossible for something like that to happen and not have it fundamentally change you, and those around you.
It is good to me, and it was meant for you to live and be free, to live and be free.
So we gotta be now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go find a spot. There's a little sticky on the back of the theme for the day, so you just rip that out.
Today I feel actually quite nervous to start because there's a lot that I've been holding on to that I hope I can get out.
Hi, Jamie speaking.
Hi, can I get a large decaf tea with 2 milk, 2 sweetener?
All right, thank you. Here's yours.
I've never won anything. I haven't even won a free coffee.
Me neither. My
Really?
husband wins like free coffees almost every day.
Do you know anyone that's won a TV or a car or something?
No.
I think they make that up.
John's parents are really lucky. Like they win like vacations and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but no, I'm very unlucky. I get 2 kinds of cancer, a bunch of different kinds of treatments.
Yeah.
I went straight from radiation to chemo to surgery, then into chemo. So I really haven't had any time for my body to heal from anything.
Yeah.
And so any treatment that they want to do beyond this, they're like, okay, we
have to stop.
We have to stop.
Wow. That's good to know. So your doctor still thinks you can do the Grand Canyon, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
was determined, so I really had kept it a pretty big secret from everybody. I come from a big family, a very big family on both sides, and they're big worriers, as am I. For me to tell them, I didn't want to make them worry, even though I was like totally freaked out.
It's been a really difficult time. Amy's a very private person, and part of it is wanting to spare us some of the pain she's going through, certainly. And that's a bit of a two-edged sword, though, because we need to know what's going on. Because how can we help if we don't?
I'm Annie. I'm Amy's best friend. We've known each other since grade 8, and I don't want to do the math. Of all my friends, she was always the person that I could count on, and she was there through a lot of my big mistakes and moments that really were hard on me. Like, my dad died, and 5 minutes after he died, she was there at the hospital. Like, when I left the room after hugging him goodbye, I walked into the hallway and she was there. And so when this stuff happens to her, I think that it's only fair that whenever she needs me, I should be like 5 seconds away.
I miss just being able to talk to my wife about stuff. About those stupid little things that come up. She has chemo on Monday of next week, and so I need to go through everything that I need her for this week, and I need to get that out of the way. You end up building this checklist in your mind of everything you need to run by your wife, and then next week she's going to be sick all week, and all those silly little things that you love talking to your wife about, they're put on hold for a week. That's not a big deal, but it sucks. I want to tell her that, oh, my day was stupid. I dealt with a real jerk at work.
The only person that I ever used to really talk to about the tough stuff and talk to about the things that scared me was Amy for a while. It was really hard to try and figure out who to talk to, because I didn't want to burden her with my own fears, because she's got way more than enough for herself, you know.
I talked back at home about really needing to let go of a lot of things. It's been a really, really tough year. We still have another tough year ahead. But definitely when you're around survivors, you feel like it's easier to let go of that baggage because they understand.
I am pleased by just the simple little things of the little things of life. And I promise if you take the time, you won't be looking for too long before you find this little secret of mine.
When you're going through something so profound and life-changing and people are telling you things that will change your life forever, you know, you carry that with you. And sometimes if you don't talk about it, you don't let it go, it sits on top of you and it weighs you down. And you don't realize how much it weighs you down until you're hitting that breaking point, which I really was hitting before I came here. Yeah, lots of adrenaline today. I love rafting, and there were, at first little rapids and then the big rapids, so it was a good day. Yeah, I'm dealing with all the cancer stuff that I had happen this past year, but knowing that the week I get back, I'm back into the fold and dealing with it all over again. So it's going to be trying to make peace with what has happened and making peace with what's coming. So kind of stuck between the two right now. And I was asked what would happen if I left and what I hoped to achieve didn't happen. And I hadn't even really considered it, and I really don't know what I'll do if I can't let it go. I was training to do an Ironman, and so I was in the gym 3 hours a day, every day of the week, and I kept getting these really bad cramps, and I knew something was wrong. So I got a referral to a doctor, and she came back a week later and said, yeah, you definitely have tumors on your ovaries. I told who was my boyfriend at the time, and is now my husband. I only told him. He took me to the hospital, didn't tell my parents. I went and had surgery, came home, and I don't even know how my parents found out, really, because they showed up at my door, at my apartment 2 days later, and were like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, oh, I have ovarian cancer.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh, the possibilities of what I could do with the world at my fingertips. My imagination brings a smile up to my lips. Oh,
last time we let loose was when we were 16. We thought we were such rebels because I told my parents I was going to her house, and she told my parents she told her mom that she was coming to my house, and her mom was going into town for the weekend. So we took GO Transit from Georgetown to Toronto for the day, and we went to the ROM, and we thought we were being total rebels because we didn't tell anyone. And we rode on the TTC, and we went to Chinatown, and then we went back home to her house, had pizza, and went to bed. And we thought that was like the greatest thing ever.
We were such rebels.
We were such rebels.
Oh yeah. I think one of the big things is really realizing even when you're young, you're not invincible. I mean, death's always been a part of my life. I lost a lot of people when I was a child, including my dad got sick when I was 8, and he died when I was 18. I stopped really taking care of myself and made a lot of stupid choices and really kind of went on a bit of a journey of self-destruction. When I was starting to come back out of that and really starting to value my life is when Amy got sick.
It really changed for me when it came back the second time. And not only was it back, but it was back in this, like now I have 2 tumors in my lungs and not just one, so it becomes more complicating. It feels like I'm not surviving, I'm just kind of floating along, like I'm not getting better, I'm hopefully not getting worse, but that I'm just kind of in the middle. Like when I think of it, I think of someone who is above that middle spot, someone that, someone's conquered cancer. Well, I haven't conquered cancer, obviously.
This is something that I can't tell her. Like when I feel scared and when I feel sad, I feel like I have to be strong for her, and that's hard. Yeah. She's got so much on her plate already that, I don't want her to worry about me. I'm fine.
It's definitely changed, like the relationships that I have with people. Before I was sort of like the mother hen out of my family, and now they don't see me as the person who controls everything anymore. Now I'm the one that has to be taken care of, so that's been really hard. And I know that they've held back a lot. They're trying to get better at it, but I mean, if someone got sick or if something serious happened, like I would be the last person to find out, whereas a few years ago I was the first person to know about it.
Amy's the love of my life, and it's hard, like watching her suffer is terrible. I wish I could do it for her.
Our biggest concern is our son. He's a trooper. He's a trooper. He's never one to complain. But you do get a sense that he gets forgotten. I think it's human nature. You tend to focus directly on who is being affected, who is a sick person. But there's a whole, the close network is affected.
When I was finally diagnosed, then it was like surgery right away. And after the surgery, they were going to do chemo, and he kept doing blood work every day, and I was sick as a dog. Well, maybe not a dog, but I was really, really sick. And I couldn't get up, I couldn't move, and I thought, if I'm this sick, how am I going to do chemo? Because I can't even get out of bed. And finally the doctor called me in, and it had to be something pretty bad if I wasn't going in for chemo, but I was going in for some sort of appointment. And he said, "You're pregnant." And I thought, like, this is the cruelest joke anyone could ever tell. He said, "No, I'm serious, you're pregnant." And I was already 4.5 months along. Like, I was was pretty far along.
You know, I'm walking home from school, we're having a conversation, and she's like, so I'm gonna have a baby, or I'm pregnant, I don't know what to do about it, because, you know, I can't really go through treatment when I'm going when I'm pregnant, and what should I do? And I'm sitting there, I nearly got hit by a car, because I was like, I stopped dead in the middle of a street, and I'm just like, and I was like, you know, I can't talk to you about this right now, and I actually hung up the phone.
I went home, and his parents live near my parents. So we went out for a drive, and I made him drive me to like a park across a bridge that's near my parents' home, because I thought, okay, if I tell him and he freaks out and he leaves, it's not too far for me to walk home. And I told him, and immediately it was like, okay, well, you know, I'm sick, we don't really know what to expect, so let's just get rid of it. So I called and made an appointment for an abortion.
Now all of a sudden there was a baby involved, and could she do chemo and radiation and all that stuff? And I called her back and I said, I can't tell you what to do. I can't give you any answers, but I can tell you that if you were me, if I was you, if the situation was reversed and I knew that this was my only chance to have a kid, I'd put the risks in that. I'd have a kid and see what happens with the cancer.
My daughter's father-in-law had cancer when he was young.
He said, I hated people coming to see me that had fear in their eyes. I mean, it's not easy because there is fear. But I guess somehow or other you can't let it show.
I think that's what we've been trying to do is I don't know if you call it upbeat, but just live life. Yeah. Just live it. And
it's almost as though you try and pretend there's nothing wrong.
And so if you had one thing to say to John, what would you say to him?
Oh, buddy, you're a trooper. Buddy.
Someone just wants to say goodnight.
Oh, are you heading out? All right.
Hey, sweetheart.
Are you thinking the naked mole rat?
Yeah. Naked mole rat.
Love you. You have a good sleep, and guess what?
Hey, listen.
Guess what you're going to see tomorrow?
Try carrying her this way.
Well, first of all, Papa's going to come and get you, take you to school. You're going to go to Tim Hortons.
Right? Then Papa's going to pick you up at school again tomorrow.
And then you know what's happening?
What?
I'm going to hurry home, and I'll see you at our house. And then we'll go to dance. But first we have to play. And what are we going to play?
Barbie.
Okay. Barbies, and we're going to have a snack, and we're going to...
Color.
Yeah, color, and maybe we're going to paint.
Yeah, we paint.
And maybe we're going to read The Naked Mole Rats.
No, I'm bringing it with me.
And the next day, I called back and said, I just can't do it. And I called John and told him I couldn't do it.
That was kind of like a turning point in my own messy life, because I realized that things could be taken away at any minute, you know, and all of a sudden that I hadn't been worrying about, you know, what I did and how it affected me and how it affected other people. All of a sudden it started to seem more important. Everything is so fresh. I know that there's more to come, and I hope that I can handle it well.
It's a hard situation. I want to be the person who provides for my family, and not being able to keep a roof over our heads, I can't help but feel that was a failure on my part. I couldn't cut it. I've had a very hard time getting over that. What's hard is you feel guilty. I feel like I need to be in 3 places at once, and I don't know how. Well, I don't know how to do that. I'm so sorry this is happening. I'm so sorry your life is so much harder.
I like living with Mama Lou and Papa P. That's their names. But most I love my mommy because she loves me.
I'm on the ride of a lifetime. I'm on a ship that's sailing to uncharted shore, and I won't be coming back here anymore. I'm on a wave.
I felt guilty because it just didn't make sense. It wasn't fair that Amy should have to go through that when, you know, she has kids, husband, that I don't, and not knowing what to do to help.
I've always known her feelings, and they mimic a lot of other people's feelings at home. And the neat thing about our relationship between the two of us is that she's never ever made a mystery of how she feels about anything. So, you know, if she's upset, she'll say she's upset. You know, if she feels guilty, you know, she'll cry. If she, you know, I know how she feels. But I've kind of been the one that holds back and doesn't necessarily share with everybody how I feel.
I haven't really talked to very much anybody before this trip about that feeling, and it just seems to be coming out a lot. The guilt is something that is really hard to kind of deal with and hard to articulate. And when I was standing there, all of a sudden I realized that she's, you know, standing like 5 feet away in a different circle, but that she's going to hear me say that I feel bad, and I didn't want her to have to think about how bad I feel. Like, it shouldn't be about me. The more I try to talk about things that matter, the harder it is and the more I cry. So maybe if I write it down, it'll be a bit easier.
Every time I think there's a new normal, it changes. And as a planner and someone who's a worrier, that's a really difficult thing. When my daughter was really young, you know, she didn't understand. But now it's really hard because she gets it. Like, she talks to her friends about what chemo is and why I have no hair. And that's really, really tough to have a 5-year-old. That's her normal. At the sitter one day, she came home and she had drawn a whole bunch of smiley faces and cut them out from construction paper and said, "If you put these all over your room, Mommy, then you'll feel better." So I have them all over my room.
Oh wow, guys.
Today has been awesome, as with every day. There's been so many highs. So I went on the tube today and it was really scary. But it was also a lot of fun. And then I didn't realize how big the last set of rapids that we would be doing today was. And you know, I did one by myself, just hanging on. It was all good, and I was like, this is great. And then we went over the last set of rapids, and I nearly fell off. And my feet were in the air, and I was screaming my brains out because I was so terrified. And I was hanging on for dear life, and my fingers were like sore afterwards. I stayed on the boat and didn't fall off, but that was like the biggest challenge. And at the time, I was like, this is so not fun. And then afterwards, I was like, as soon as the water calmed, I was like, no, that was worth it. That was so worth it. I've been really reflective and introspective, but today I've really been more just here and experiencing it and actually seeing what I'm looking at and actually feeling the highs and lows as they're happening, and yeah, just not worrying because this is the moment that I'm living in right now and this deserves my attention. Hey Aim, thanks for taking me on this amazing trip. I came here with you and I came here for you, but a lot of what's coming out is me. And all that seems to do is compound this feeling of guilt. I remember telling people at work about your miracle baby Avery and announcing victoriously how you had been cancer-free ever since that, just days before you told me that the cancer was back. I don't want to burden you with the weight of my guilt and my fears. This isn't about me, and I would much rather your focus be on you. But I do want to tell you how sorry I am that this disease has touched you and changed your life while mine remained relatively healthy. Like even in writing the letter, like the focus is her. And it's not a bad thing. Like I definitely would rather the focus be on her. She was my rock for so much. And then it kind of switched, you know? Yeah, so now I get to be her rock. And I don't know how to be a rock, but I can try. Right now, what she's going through and the struggles that she's going through, like my life, I know where things are going in my life. I know what to expect in the struggles in my life that doesn't contain, like the way, like in my family, in my life, in my job. I know all those things. And hers is where the uncertainty is. That's where it matters more. Like in the helping and in the caring and everything, it's more about her, it's not about me. And my hurts and my fears and my struggle, I can see as kind of secondary. I guess one thing I wonder is, if it's not healthy to hold it all inside, how do you talk to somebody who's going through the fight of their life about how it affects you? How do you talk to them about that? That's not fair to them. They have enough to deal with. I feel like I'm going crazy talking to a camera.
Although I hate cancer, I love the people that I've met. And I love how much more honest and real it's made my life. Because although it's really sucky in a lot of ways, it makes you open up your life and you learn a lot more than I think I would have by now had I not had cancer.
I'm so sorry this is happening. I'm so sorry your life is so much harder. I'm sorry it's because I know you blame yourself, and I think that's ridiculous because this is in no way your fault. This is something that just happens. It could have happened to me just as easily, and if it did, you would move heaven and earth just to make me feel a little bit better. And I can't believe how lucky I am to have somebody like you care about somebody like me.
We must let go of the life we had planned to have the life that is waiting for us. That really holds true for me as a planner, because this is not how I saw my life.
Hand in hand on the warm sand, we are walking barefoot and free. In your eyes, I see blue skies reflection, and everything is blue and blurry.
I very much remember a conversation that took place. Amy was not feeling great. She was lying in bed. I was lying beside her, just like I was doing stuff. I was like painting a poster or something, and Amy was talking about the next round of treatment. She was like, I'm just telling you this because I need to say it out loud to process it. And I'm like, okay. And she starts talking about, treatment and what's going to happen and, where things are at. And I just started crying. And she was like, don't cry. You're not allowed to cry. I need you to be strong. And I'm like, ugh. And like that was actually part of what I was like, okay, I have to be strong. And so I've been strong, and not cried and stuff.
Feel just totally anxious. Really, really anxious. Like, all I want to do is lay in bed just because I don't even know the word. Because I would just run around the house probably and yell, "Serenity now!" and just go crazy because I know I can't control everything, but I can't completely let go either. I've tried and I've let go quite a bit in the last year, but there are still those days where I really want to have control and don't. It's a lot of other things that have had to change. I mean, my school had to change, my job had to change, the way that, we had to move, we had to give up our house. And so it's been hard to have to change so many things when you want to be in control of so much. My worst fear isn't dying, it's definitely leaving my family alone. And leaving Avery without a mom and John without a wife. Because I don't care if I die alone, but I couldn't do it to them. I know I can handle the nausea and all the crap that they stick in your body, but I'm not ready to leave Avery and John and my family. So the thought of dying really, not so much for me, but for everybody else, is just the worst thing I can imagine. But you just always try and put that in the very corner of your mind so that you don't think about it.
For a fulfilled life and a free spirit and a peaceful soul. For John to feel a fulfilled life, a job he loves, and a stable home and the support that he deserves. For Avery to have a happy childhood full of amazing memories and people she can love and depend on. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Aye, aye, aye.
Hopefully the whole idea of them floats to the sky and is felt.
To rid myself of the anger, frustration that I am hanging on to and that is hanging on to me. Now just let it go.
I know it can fly.
Ish. Oh! It's important that we be able to cry, and that if that's the emotion that I'm feeling and that's the way that I'm dealing, that I could say to Amy, I understand that you need me to be strong, but in order to be strong for you, I need to have my own emotions too. And then last night when I got back to the tent, she was still awake, and so we had a chat where I just kind of, like, the things that I had been holding on to and not really saying, like, you know, I miss just being able to be ridiculous. I was able to say it. And she's like, yeah, it sucks. You have to plan to be ridiculous now. And I'm like, yeah, that does suck. But it was really great to be able to, without feeling bad about it, talk about it. I have to take care of myself a bit more and realize that my thoughts and my feelings, they're mine, and that's my story, and it is important.
I've been around the world, seen a lot of things as the earth has twirled. Been amazed and excited, collecting the clues when I was running, trying to fill my own shoes. And now I'm right here, and everything's good, and all the little pieces fit just like they all should. Yeah, life's been going fine, I'd even say it was good. Today I wouldn't change a thing if I could. Hey, 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 I'm going up straight to the top, walking out, holding my head up high. Hey, 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 moving on to a brand new place, and now it's here in a blink of an eye. Hey, 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 you can't stop me now, moving fast, going everywhere I wanted to be.
This is my very messy studio. I do any sort of printing, mainly wedding invitations, but any social stationery. I've kind of done it for like really, really long time, but like for free and for all my friends and family. And finally, after my diagnosis with cancer, when my disability benefits were cut off and I had all this free time, I thought, oh, let's start a business. It's good because I can work my schedule around treatments, around anything that's happening, and I have my backups for if I need help with an order and I'm sick as a dog. And I'm afraid, I think the most, that people will think that since I have cancer, I can't do the job. So I often wear wigs when I'm meeting clients. And one client, he works at Rona and I didn't know, and on the weekend I went in and bought a ceiling fan and was like, hey, I'm bald. I'm still occasionally very, very angry, especially the second time around. You become angry at different things. I know I was angry at God for a long, long time. I guess I'm still sort of angry. I don't know if you ever get over the anger. Eventually you do, you make peace with it. Just my journey's not done. So, you know, I'm angry at little things like not being able to go for a run or being able to go out with my friends to go partying or to lead the life I had before. And with the anger, like, I don't know how you deal with it. Like, you can scream and yell, but the anger's still there.
I've always known that she was going to be the maid of honor if I ever get married. She's going to be my maid of honor. And I kind of planned on, us being able to, like sit down for coffee when we both have kids and just like be like, oh my gosh, these little rugrats and stuff. Sharing in all of those things, and going on trips when we've been friends for 50 years and things like that.
We have a special Facebook closed group for stage 4 patients, and half of our group died this year. It's hard to keep fighting when that's happening at the same time. I mean, at one point it was like every 2 weeks someone was dying. It was really, really bad. Like today was probably the best day. Got to see this nice clear waterfall in this warm water. We all took a nap. So we got to lie on these beautiful rocks and listen to music, have this beautiful waterfall with the mist coming off. It was like heaven. It was awesome. One of the people that I'm closest with who has the same kind of cancer I do, but has had different complications. Like she's also stage 4. She decided to stop treatment, so right now she's on a trip, but if she doesn't continue treatment, she'll be next soon. And losing her will be really, really hard. I feel like once she's gone, I won't have anyone else to relate to, or no one else that gets me, and I get her.
Started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song. And it just goes on and on.
I think the hardest person to forgive is myself, especially as a mother and a wife and a daughter and a sister. I feel a lot of guilt for a lot of different things, and it's really, really hard to forgive myself for a lot of things that I expected. I just wish I was a better wife instead of someone that just lays in bed all the time and always sick. Or that I could spend more time with Avery and keep working and, keep up with the house to keep our house. I know John blames himself for losing our house, but it wasn't his fault. I'm hoping tomorrow when we're camping out kind of on more of a ledge that I'm able to finally scream my feelings out loud. I've been waiting to do that, but I'm afraid that if I do it near the river, somewhere where people can't see me, they'll think I'm drowning. Not so great. But from somewhere high and tall, before I leave, I will scream.
So here we go. I'm just gonna start handing these out. Once you got yours, you can go and take a look. Go find a spot. And Amy, this one's yours. There you go. These are for you. Yeah. There we go.
We're hoping that this trip helps to empower how you keep going with your fight to find the reserves you need for the next leg of the journey. We know how much it means to you to be able to release your emotions in a physical way.
I want to be able to lead as normal a life as possible. Why does my body hate me so much? I don't have a choice. I'll probably be battling cancer for the rest of my life. Just haven't felt beautiful in so long. I almost feel like I'm contributing nothing. I mean, everything eventually just kind of merges into this giant ball of everything, really. And sometimes it's hard to distinguish one feeling from another. It's exhausting. You bottle that grief up, and after a while, you just pop. I have as much control over my body as someone else does. I mean, you can work out all you want. I was training for the Ironman, for crying out loud, and this came up, so it wasn't that I'd done something wrong. But I do fear for Avery. I just don't want her to get it and to go through the same thing I have. Because she's already kind of going through it now. And I hope that if it ever happened to her, that she would have me and John and our families there to support her. And that maybe there would be more advances. It amazes me how much of an impact such an amazing family makes. I know so many people who do not have families like we do, who are there to help us at every point of this journey. And to my husband, John, who has suffered through so much, has put up with me even though I'm not the wife I want to be for him. He deserves to be really happy. And I think a lot of times he chooses mediocrity just so that our family can have a better life. And Avery, who's just absolutely phenomenal. John and I really cherish the time that we have with her. Even when I'm sick, even if it's just falling asleep at night with her, for me that really makes my day. You're born, you live, and you die. And every single person on this earth that you have an interaction with, whether negative or positive, will always leave a mark on your life. So I hope I've made mine. I think you go through such a roller coaster of emotions, and bitterness certainly is one of those emotions. But I'd like to hope that whenever that time comes, when it's the end of my life, that I'm not bitter, that I'm at peace with what is.
Sitting up on the rock in this little oasis area with Amy singing a whole bunch of ridiculous songs, totally off tune, was probably like the biggest highlight of the whole trip, just because it was so like us before all of the hard stuff that we've had to go through. Today I got to drive the boat for a little bit, and it was a really scary thing to do. It's this big stick that you wivel backwards and forwards, and you control the speed with turning your hand. And it's so far removed from anything that I've done before that it was kind of fun to do it because it was just so different. But it was also kind of scary because there's like rocks on either side, and you try to compensate and you go way over here, and you try to compensate and you go way over here, and so I was like constantly trying to stay away from the rocks and stuff. And I did a nice big donut, which was awesome. I definitely went on more of a journey than I thought I would. And there are a lot of takeaways that I have to take from this whole experience. I feel a validity in my emotions that I didn't really feel before, and it's really allowed me to let go of the guilt that I feel, because it's normal for me to feel this way, and opening up lines of communication is a really, really big thing. And really just letting people know when things hurt and when things are rough, and also when things are good, like just to be able to, ride the tide, whether it's going up or down. We had this one huge rapid that we were going to ride, and everybody had been talking about it. It was like talked about from day one. This lava, the lava rapid was talked about from day one as like the big thing that we were going to do, and everybody else went up and saw it, and I was like, no, you know what? I don't want to look at it. Right now I'm going to live in this moment on the boat, have a few last conversations, and just kind of enjoy this time on still water and worry about the rapid when it gets here. And by doing that, I think I enjoyed it so much more because I had no idea what was in store, and the whole thing was just so exciting and so much fun, and I wasn't worried about the big hits that were coming because I didn't know they were coming. And I think it really, like, that's a big metaphor for, how I feel coming out of this, is that I need to just, the future's going to be the future no matter what I think about it. And the moment that I have is right now. And the people that I have are the ones that are with me right now. And no matter how much time I have, right now is going to matter. To pay more attention to the moment that I'm in, and pay less attention to the what ifs of the future. To be a healthy supporter, I have to take care of myself, which I didn't think about before. In order to be there for Amy, I really need to be able to deal with my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions as well. And then only then can I actually be able to help her.
You end up coming back with new perspectives and new feelings, and that often helps. Just getting away.
What legacy do you want to leave for Amy?
I think I just want her to know that she's loved. Because I don't know of anything else that's better to give or receive. You can have all the money in the world, but it's love that gets you through it.
Cancer has changed our lives, but who's to say that it's changed for the better or for the worse? We will never know what could have been. All that we can know is our current reality, and all we get to choose is where we will go from here. So do not choose anger and bitterness. It cannot change the past. In fact, all it can do is ruin the future. The best thing we can do when faced with great suffering is to live our life well despite of it. Not straining after epic and amazing feats, but just living and loving those around us, with the perspective of one who has known both tragedy and triumph, both pain and great joy. One thing is certain, because of cancer, we will not be counted among those cold, timid souls who have known neither victory or defeat. We are walking through a very deep valley, and although it may take a long time to climb out, it is possible if we remember that our only true defeat is giving into bitterness. No matter how our cancer journey ends, we can all be victorious.
It's okay to cry. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to not have the answers. It's okay to not know what to do to help. It's okay to reach out to people, and it's okay to realize that you need support too.
I have made mistakes. I have made mistakes. I continue to make them. And the promises I've made, the promises I've made, I continue to break them. And all the doubts I've faced, all the doubts I've faced, I continue to face them. But nothing is a waste. Nothing is a waste if you learn from it. And the sun, it does not cause us, the sun, it does not cause us to grow. It is the rain that will strengthen, the rain that will strengthen your soul. It will make you whole. Oh, 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 We have lived in fear. We have lived in fear, and our fear has betrayed us.
Happy birthday, Mom.
We will overcome. We will overcome the apathy that has made us. 'Cause we are not alone. We are not alone in the dark with our demons. We have made mistakes. We have made mistakes, but we've learned from them. And the sun, it does not cause us, the sun, it does not cause us to grow. It is the